may be over, but we are taking a tasty trip back in time.
That's right. Watch as we join a couple of experts who let us sample some dishes that the American revolutionaries might have enjoyed during their own Thanksgiving celebrations. Get ready for some history on a plate.
Well, we think of pilgrims during Thanksgiving, but what about the American revolutionaries? Taste some history in your home for this holiday by creating and experiencing their unique cuisine.
Yeah, that's right. Here to share more, we got celebrity historian Rafi Andonian and Nicole Kliebert, creator of Noshings with Nicole. Thank you for joining us both.
Yes. Of course, thankful to be here.
Yes. Okay, so you brought us some food. Let's talk about a little bit of history first, right? We were talking about the American revolutionaries. What do we need to know when it comes to American revolutionaries and Thanksgiving?
Well, we think of the Pilgrims, which were almost 200 years prior to the American Revolutionary period, and there are different places that claim to have that first Thanksgiving, but during the American Revolution, they're not doing Thanksgiving the way we think of it today, but they are feasting, and so when they feasted, they would do a 2-course meal. It doesn't seem like a lot, and they're not just doing it for Thanksgiving, they're in all kinds of different places, but each course had like 15 or 20 parts to it, so really they're eating like 30 to 40 dishes, and we just brought 4 of those 30 to 40 dishes here today.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Nicole, how did you find these recipes?
Yeah, so when you're looking at historic recipes, I think it's more common for someone to think, oh, I'll go straight to the source. So one of the most common cookbooks is by Mary Randolph, the Virginia housewife. However, it's written for 18th century, early 19th century, meaning we don't understand what they're talking about. There's a lot of assumptions. So you have sites like Colonial Williamsburg that has a historic foodways, and they specialize in finding out what they're meaning and how we would understand that today.
Yeah.
So if you go to their website, they have a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah.
So how do you determine, you know, what's going to be kind of a crowd pleaser when you pick a recipe?
Yeah, so for Thanksgiving, you have to be like super careful because you can't compete with someone's grandma's mac and cheese.
True.
You can't compete, you know, with the real big staples, and you don't want to go where it's like offensive, where someone's scared to try it. So you want to find something that is common enough in the 21st century that is still true to the 18th century.
Yeah.
So for example, we'll do like the cabbage. Greens, especially in the South, are a super common Thanksgiving food.
Sure.
So we have cabbage 2 ways. So this one, it's cabbage onions.
Okay.
And it's got salt and pepper and butter. And then you can stop there and eat it as like one version.
Can I try it? I mean, these folks are sitting here. It's just so inviting. I just want to try it. Yeah.
It's kind of like buttery bliss in there.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah. And if you are dairy-free, you can always go like with a coconut butter or another alternative butter.
Right, sure, of course, yeah.
And then if you wanted to kick it up one notch, you can add flour and eggs and milk, and then you can fry them up and have like a fritter.
Okay, so it's like a veggie fritter.
Right, and so it's kind of almost like a potato cake, but it's with cabbage and onions.
Okay.
So let's try that.
So y'all can go ahead for that too.
So sticking with veggie theme, down here, turnips.
Yes.
Turnips is something that I always turn up my nose at. But these look delicious.
Yeah, so turnips is one of those offensive things that's a little bit risky.
Right.
And they kind of have a reputation of being bitter. These are cooked pretty long, and they have a really nice gravy. So they're softer, they're kind of buttery, they're kind of decadent, they're silky. So it's a very different turnip from, like, you know, the 1950s boiled turnip, even though they are boiled.
They are good.
Thank you. So that looks like on the risky category, but I think it's okay.
Yeah, I do. I totally think it's okay. Excuse me, I would serve this. Maybe for Thanksgiving, even after Thanksgiving, I think it would be fantastic. The gravy is great. Anyway, I like it. I like it a lot.
So the gravy is super easy. It's like flour, butter, and then the turnip juice from when you cook it. And so
And so what do you have in here?
Probably the most easy crowd pleaser are these potato cakes. So I'll put them over here. These are warmer over on this side.
Okay.
But they're basically a mashed potato without like milk. So it's got like the mashed potato, and then it's got egg yolk, and then you bread it, and you can either bake it or you can fry it. And that was done either way historically.
Oh, okay. So
now, historically, it's real quick. You'd be eating a lot more meat than we have here today. Proportionally, our founders ate a lot of meat and starch, and you put a lot of spices like sugar and salt and other spices on there. Many of them got gout. we're wearing a little more vegetarian here so you don't get gout.
Right.
You're always thinking of
my doctor's been warning me about gout.
Yeah.
I'm susceptible to gout.
How do you find your recipes? I know you can. People can find these over at noshie'swithnicole.com. But how did you go about finding these recipes?
So I went to like Colonial Williamsburg's website. Sometimes I'll go to Mount Vernon. There is a YouTuber called Tasting with Max Miller, and he has really good ones as well. He makes it funny, it's more vibrant, but he covers a whole area of history from like Middle Ages up until like the 1970s.
Man, that's great.
So interesting.
Well, thank you for bringing this food.
Yes.
I think we should kind of snack on it while we go to break here. But we appreciate all of you, and especially you, for getting up and making us this food.
History and food combined. Just like when you think about your grandma's recipes, think about the founding fathers' recipes and reconnect with food.
I like that.
Love it.
Yes. All right, we're going to keep eating. We'll be right back with more Good Day NWA.